Tonight, two towns in the Spencer Gulf named as the worst areas for break-ins in South Australia. And Rufus the Kangaroo soaks up his newfound internet stardom.
With the latest from around the region, your nightly news with Louise Hedger begins now.
Hello everyone. Port Lincoln and Whyalla have been listed in the top 10 worst locations for break-ins, according to the latest SAPOL statistics. Police are reminding residents to double-check they've locked their houses before leaving and encourage locals to invest in an alarm system.
New SAPOL statistics reveal home thefts across Australia are on the rise, with an increase of break-ins in rural areas. Port Lincoln took out second spot with 108 break-ins over the 2018 to 2019 period. Whyalla Stewart coming in 7th place with 94 break-ins, and Whyalla Norrie taking out 10th place with 88. And Broken Hill coming in top 5 with the most reported claims to RAA for theft in the last year. An unwelcome reality for Whyalla's EP motorcycle shop, broken into yesterday.
Too often we find that people are leaving doors and windows unlocked, and it's these houses that are targeted by opportunistic thieves.
Police warning there is a hefty penalty for those who trespass.
Serious criminal trespass is considered very serious in the eyes of the law, particularly if the offence is committed on a residential premises, where for a basic offence the courts can sentence a person to imprison for up to 15 years.
Police offering simple piece of crime prevention advice: make sure doors are locked before leaving for work.
We highly recommend that people invest in alarm and CCTV systems, which not only act as a deterrent, but are invaluable when it comes to the investigation of these offences by police.
RAA suggests residents take on 3 key measures: double-checking windows and doors are locked when leaving, check your home contents cover, and thirdly, think about increasing security. Even simple things like adding sensor lights to scare away thieves.
Over Christmas and January, the school holidays essentially, more people do go away, and perhaps we're a little bit more relaxed when we're on holidays, and so we're less attentive to our home security.
With an increase of break-ins occurring during holiday seasons, residents are asked to take extra care with Easter around the corner. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Police are investigating a serious assault which occurred in Whyalla in the early hours of yesterday morning. A 65-year-old man was woken by noises coming from the front yard of his house on Essington Lewis Avenue around 2 a.m. Police say the man went outside to investigate and was punched in the face and kicked several times, suffering serious head and facial injuries. The suspect is described as having a slim build, around 178 centimetres tall, aged between 30 and 40 years old, and was wearing black or brown pants with a dark coloured top. Police ask anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. A fundraiser to help pay for the funeral expenses of 2 people who were tragically killed in Port Augusta early Saturday morning has almost reached its $10,000 goal. Dickie Press and his partner Naomi Braden were walking home from a Valentine's Day event when they were allegedly struck by a car being driven by 39-year-old Matthew Thomas. The GoFundMe is listed to pay for funeral expenses and as financial aid for the victims' 5 children. Port Lincoln's famous couch-sitting kangaroo Rufus has reached international fame with a Facebook account documenting his adventures going viral. The Big Roo is just one of several rescued animals at Pumpkin Patch Kangaroo Sanctuary.
Move over, Skippy, there's a new Roo in town. Meet Rufus, Port Lincoln's couch-sitting kangaroo, who's taken the internet by storm. His own Facebook and Instagram accounts racking up thousands of views.
And I started his page originally to show people just how amazing kangaroos are. You know, I get to see them every day and see just how special they are, and I just want to show the world.
The lovable larrikin is one of several roos at Pumpkin Patch Sanctuary, which originally started with just one joey 3 years ago.
I fell in love with the kangaroo, and she had to have a home somewhere, and in South Australia we can't release kangaroos, so I knew she had to be kept.
The job doesn't come without some heartache. A rescued Western Grey who was burnt in last year's bushfires recently succumbed to her injuries.
A lot of it was the burns, but also she'd been through such a stressful time, you know, been through the fire. Her mob was wiped out.
But Kim Hayward soldiers on, vowing to continue the work of the sanctuary no matter what it takes. The commitment despite ongoing challenges, including rising vet bills and special milk formula for the Joeys, continuously putting pressure on the hip pocket.
I will work whatever I have to do to keep doing what I'm doing.
When it comes to dinner time, there's a flurry of activity in the Hayward household. Of course, Rufus takes centre stage, nestled in his couch, catching up on his old favourite, the local news.
You know, if we let him, he would stay here all the time. He's a lazy boy.
Rufus does know best when it comes to relaxing in front of the TV. He might take up a bit of room on the couch, but his adopted parents don't mind. They wouldn't have it any other way.
He hops in easy enough, but the only way he'll go out is if I carry him. So that's my nightly workout, to lift this 50-kilo plus boy and chuck him out the backyard.
To follow his adventures, search Rufus the Couch Kangaroo. Nathan Rector, 7 Spencer Golf News.
A car enthusiast from Whyalla who spent the last 40 years restoring Holdens, bringing them back to life, is still reeling from the company's latest news. The iconic car brand is set to be scrapped by the end of this year, with 600 employees expected to be out of work by June.
Polishing his pride and joy, a 1959 FC, Robert Freund has 5 classic Holdens which he has restored over the years.
Barn finds or wrecks that I've totally rebuilt, and but now I can enjoy them for rallies.
Robert is part of the Whyalla Vintage Classic Car Club, a group of more than 100 enthusiasts, all sharing one passion.
The Australian design was always the nicest features, I believe.
Among his collection is a 1954 Holden FJ, a 1955 FJ and a 1979 HZ station wagon, which the family are packing for their next road trip.
The kids were little when Bob started, and we've been on some great trips with friends and family, and it's filled in a lot of our time nicely.
But the favourite is the shiny red and white classic.
Perhaps the FC is the favourite. That's got a bit better view and a bit more luggage space than the other one.
Spending more than $50,000 over the years to fix the cherished cars, his wife Suzanne says it's a passion of Robert's, and luckily that he's good at.
He does a very good job, and a lot of people will say he's very good at what he does.
But the popular Holdens will soon be no more, with the company axing manufacturing in process in Australia and New Zealand, following a slump in the market.
Sad to see all the people that are going to lose their jobs over all this, and I've been a Holden man since I was 16, and I've had many new Holdens in my lifetime.
He always keeps telling me it's the last one, but I don't believe him anymore.
The end of a road, but not an end to the passion. Sophia Contagonis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Still to come tonight, the MFS puts a call out for more firefighters to sign up in the Spencer Golf, and the countdown's on for Clean Up Australia Day. Hello again. South Australia's Metropolitan Fire Service is seeking new recruits for multiple locations across the Spencer Gulf. Although they're desperate to gain numbers, new applicants will still need to prove they can stay cool and calm under pressure.
This proud firefighter has been part of the local MFS team for 15 years, now calling for those from the region to come forward and put their skills to the test. The search is on for new recruits from the far north, the Eyre region and York Mid-North.
So we're looking for people who are fit and motivated and wish to learn more skills and be part of the community.
Authorities are looking for a wide range of applicants. The catch, they need to prove they can handle the heat. It's not only physical stamina put to the test, there's psychological testing too, to ensure the right people are put to the job. All encouraged to consider signing up to be one of Australia's heroes.
May not have thought of being a firefighter originally. Women, men, people from across the cultural diversity.
Successful applicants will be paid a retainer for their time and will be required to attend not just fire emergencies.
A wide range of incidents ranging from commercial to domestic structure fires, road crash rescues and hazmat incidents.
Training and recruitment sessions will be held shortly here at the Port Pirie Fire Station. Firefighters say it gives the community peace of mind following this year's horror bushfire season.
Rewarding to know that the training that we're provided will help the community if anything in the future would happen in this area.
More information on the call can be found online. Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Residents from around the Spencer Gulf are being encouraged to roll up their sleeves and participate in this year's Clean Up Australia Day. The event is less than 2 weeks away, with Port Pirie Council offering free hard waste disposal as well.
The day to make a difference. Residents around the region gearing up to clean up.
It's an opportunity on the 1st of March to come and join many other community-minded people to pick up some stuff around the town and actually clean up a particular area.
The national event is celebrating its 30th year anniversary, and organisers say it's helped to educate communities on the importance of environmental sustainability, hoping to break a record this year.
Really have an impact. Over that time, they removed more than 17,000 tonnes of rubbish. So get out there, Aussies, and have a go.
The impact of plastic waste is hugely detrimental to the environment. Organisers hoping coastal communities to get involved and clean up to help keep our earth clean.
Plastics are the most common item reported across all locations by volunteers. So there's a lot of plastic in our environment that volunteers can really have an impact in getting it out.
And I think if we do our little bit, it just keeps our corner of the planet nice and clean. So it's only a small bit of time. So I look forward to seeing everybody there.
Port Pirie residents are encouraged to register for the event, kicking off at Solomon Town Beach foreshore around 10 a.m. In conjunction with the day, Port Pirie Council will be offering free hard waste disposals.
By all means, watch our Facebook and all that sort of stuff. It'll tell you what we're about to do and when you can actually do some drop-offs.
Shari Hams, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us after the break. A generous donation to support nursing home residents get out and about, and a new squash club for Port Lincoln. Welcome back. Broken Hill's Mayor is encouraging locals to nominate someone for this year's Heritage Awards. The ceremony puts those who help enrich the city's history, either through volunteering or employment, in the spotlight. The Mayor saying it recognises the people who do things that make a difference.
I look around me every day. I'm amazed at what people do to enhance our community, and that's what we're looking at. You know, it's not an academic award, it's about those that actually love our community and what they've done to make a difference.
Nomination forms can be found on Council's website and submissions close in March. Port Pirie's Helping Hand Lil Home has welcomed a donation of $10,000 from Freemason towards a new bus. Staff are putting all hands on deck with only $30,000 to go until the target's reached. The organisation says the bus would help residents enjoy day trips around the community. A Port Lincoln Squash Club is calling for recruits to join the team with a new set of courts now up and running. Members are encouraging those of all ages and physical abilities to come down and try their hand at the racket.
It's the new multi-million-dollar facility that have got these squash heads bouncing off the walls. The Port Lincoln Leisure Centre redevelopment unveiling 3 new squash courts.
It's marvellous, yeah. It's a great centre, great setup.
It's been a long-awaited development for these players who've been without a squash court for nearly 17 years after the old facility was closed down.
I used to drive up to Arno Bay, which is about 250 k's from my place round trip. It's a long way for a game, but when you're a bit of a squash nut, that's what you do.
The redevelopment of the centre includes an indoor and outdoor basketball court, a spectator arena and the new courts. Movable walls an added feature which will allow members to create big arenas with room for up to 8 players.
It's great for the town. This is a beautiful facility, yeah. And I'm trying to get back into playing squash.
Members say the game is for any age and physical ability. The club now on the lookout for new recruits to help build up the sport.
Advice around at present, literature saying that squash is supposed to be the most healthiest sport in the world. and it was probably written by a squash player, but anyway.
Yeah, all ages. We've got a gentleman that comes out and has the hit, and he's 80. And so he's really enjoying it, and there's a few other guys that keep enjoying it.
The club is encouraging locals to give the game a try. For the next 3 Sundays between midday and 2, entry will be free and all the equipment will be supplied.
You've got this facility here. Please come in and use it.
Nathan Rector, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us. Coming up after the break, Patrick Reinke will have this week's Sport Wrap and we'll have the weather with Brit. Hello again. Tennis is back in Broken Hill with the first round of the summer competition taking place. Here's Patrick Reinke with the latest results.
The Silver City's A-grade tennis players returned to the court, dusting out the cobwebs, ready for a new season. In the first round, Volley started off strong with a 4-2 win over backhands. Ross Casey not missing a beat, downing Nathan Crabb's 7-love. Topspins did even better, thumping the serves. In the third game, forehands had to work hard to beat the drop shots. Matthew Handberg and Josh Niaros played an epic set. Handberg just getting up 7-5. Staying in Broken Hill, but we're switching to basketball now. Brick throwers smashed the Scorchers 64-26. It was also very one-sided between the Ramjets and Sumton boys. The last fixture, though, was an absolute nail-biter, with the North Bulldogs edging out Crooklyn. Speaking of nail-biters in Port Pirie, the Pacers and Ducks went right down to the wire. The Pacers managing to hold on to join the Ducks on the top of the ladder. Lachlan and Mason Munzberg combined for 37 points. In the other game, Tomcats beat the Globetrotters by 9. Another close game, this time in Port Augusta. Ladder leader Eagles just beating cellar dwellers Wildcats by 1 point. 12 points separated the Cobras and Titans. Moving over to Whyalla now, and a season high from Tom Quinn saw the Demons outclass the Titans. Quinn finished with 34 points to his name, with 12 coming from downtown. In the second matchup, solid team scoring saw the Wildcats get over the Braves, 5 players in the double digits. Heading to Port Lincoln now, and the Sharks have tightened their hold on first place with a commanding win over Rangers 1. Of their 55 points, Dannon Blacker and Cody Rosalia scored 44 of them, a tremendous effort by the pair. The other game saw Peckers dispatch Lincoln South's blue and Rangers 2 smash Tasmans by 24 points. Back to Whyalla for baseball action now. In the seniors, Roadrunners were too strong for the Tigers. Scott Price and Chris Levisi great at the plate. In the juniors, Indians powered past the Tigers 14-5. Finishing off with the Whyalla softball, Tigers also lost to the Indians here. The second game saw Eagles beat the Roadrunners. Tanya Turner was consistent with bat in hand, recording 3 safe hits. For the Roadrunners, Mia Adams and Beck Brand were among their best. That does it for another week of local sport. We'll be back at the same time next week.
Now for a look at your week's weather, here's Brit Halen.
Thanks, Louise, and good evening. Strong winds blasted the region today. Port Augusta and Port Pirie sharing a high of 26 degrees. Whyalla 24, Port Lincoln 22, Broken Hill the outlier reaching 31 degrees. Today's satellite shows low cloud forming over the coast with a cooler southerly wind change bringing with it the odd drizzle. Looking to tomorrow on the Gulf waters, winds south to southwesterly at up to 20 knots, seas at half a metre. Sunrise at 6:51 a.m. with sunset at 8:07 tomorrow evening. Mostly fine conditions expected with maximums in the 20s. From the top, Woodner 28 tomorrow, Broken Hill 27, Port Augusta, Corn and Port Pirie all expected to reach 26, Kadina 25, Whyalla 24, Coffin Bay 23, Port Lincoln and Clare both 22, Cleve a top of 21 degrees. Moving along to the 4-day forecast now, Port Lincoln with cloudy conditions expected on Thursday, fine Friday and Saturday. Cleve cloudy on Thursday, partly cloudy Friday ahead of a sunny start to the weekend. Woodner fine and partly cloudy for the remainder of the working week. Whyalla and Kadina both partly cloudy Thursday and Friday, warm and sunny on Saturday. Port Augusta with a fine 27 degrees on Thursday, sunny towards the end of the week. Partly cloudy on Thursday at Port Pirie and Clare, both looking sunny on Friday and into the weekend. Broken Hill bright and sunny through the rest of the week. And Louise, that's it from me.
Lovely, thank you for that, Brit. And that's your local news this Tuesday evening. Thank you for joining us today. We'll have updates later, but until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.